Hey guys, it's Chris, and welcome to Toned and Toneful, the self-actualization video podcast, episode number 62. The answers you seek are within. So in this week's episode, guys, I want to go over the idea of how everything that we're searching for that answers the real questions in our life are within ourselves. We don't have to look very much further than inside of our mind, soul, and spirit to understand that many of the things that we believe in life and many of the things that happen in our life are strongly a representative of what we believe about ourselves and what we're able to find within ourselves. Now, for some people, this subject might be a little, hocus pocus, or they might feel that, real results are, gotten by real physical activity, by motion, by action. I 100% agree. But part of what makes it so functional when you're taking action is because you have the conviction from what you feel inside your mind and your heart together so that the action doesn't feel pointless. It's inspired. So the action that you're taking doesn't feel boring or it doesn't fit with something. It's going to make sense to you because that level of dedication to your feeling and understanding of yourself means that the actions that we take count for so much more than ones that we're just doing to try and make something happen. One of the really big things that I've been fortunate to have a lot of conversations with lots of colleagues, musicians, friends, there's been a very big change in a lot of people's lives about what they're going for. And one of the things that they're starting to notice is that the previous mindset that they were living with and the previous way that they were organizing their thoughts and the way that they approached life and the way they thought about how their life worked for them hurt them. And so they're looking for a new outlook that can change this specific mindset so they can start taking action that's more functional. They can take action that's more uplifting, that the inspiration stays longer because not only are they feeling motivated, but the discipline can stay because they're seeing that results from the actions that they're taking and they feel in alignment with those. That second part's really important. Are you in alignment with the things that you do and the way that you're reacted to and the way you receive in life? The more that comes together, the better it is. The better it is. There's a saying that I used to kind of say a lot, and it's been a while since I've said it on here in Toned and Toneful, but if you were to take two people and you set them, like say one person's looking this way and one person's looking this way, even if they're only looking at a 1 degree separation and they start walking, their path in life will actually lead them pretty far apart. 1 degree is enough to not have alignment. Now, maybe in a small level, that alignment's not a big deal. At a small level, 1 degree in a short time period or something can be okay. But the farther and farther that we get away from being understood and understanding ourselves and what we fulfill in this world, I actually think that creates a stronger cognitive dissonance that sometimes can't be corrected unless we change our mindset. So what does all this mean? We're trying to be in alignment. We want our actions to make sense. We want these things to lift us up. But yet and still, what's the breaking factor? What's the motivator to get past maybe people who have a lot of negative thoughts about their self? Maybe people who haven't seen their self do the best in maybe some of the things they've worked on or some of the things they wanted to try and they lost confidence. Maybe some people who have never really had encouragement, so they spend a lot of their time wondering what it's like to do something, but just being just nervous enough not to try, which puts them in a hard spot because they don't know what it's like to win, and maybe it's just around the corner. Another thing is just not feeling right in your own skin. Or daily life and the things you do, you're like, why doesn't this make sense? Why do I feel so different from what is going on around me in a way that I don't feel like I'm a part of it? I don't feel like I need to be here. I don't feel like I don't make sense for part of this. It's not true. Your alignment is going to come from you being able to look within. And some of the things that you're going to want to start taking in is a very, very detailed look at your reactions and how you feel about triggers and things that bring reward in your life. Triggers and rewards are kind of like two opposites, but we're going to use them because they kind of dial us into where the center is. We can kind of see these kind of comments don't bother me at all. But if someone talks about this subject, or if I feel that they're starting to comment on a certain part of my personality, a certain part of my culture, whatever it is that offends you, maybe you find at some point you're triggered. And on the other side, there's the reward. Maybe they said a nice compliment. Maybe they were able to do something for you that made it feel really great to have that kind of mindset where reward was, you want to hold on to the reward. Now, people who feel that more things are rewards naturally are going to feel better. Someone told me a joke one time because I was looking at a watch of mine, and you guys know I love watches. So I was looking at a watch and I was looking at a guitar, and they're like, Chris, I'm amazed how much you love the little things, whether it's the hands on the watch or the bridge on a guitar, right? And so I thought about how lucky I am to be that person, to be someone who can enjoy so many things in life, that I spend a lot of my time smiling. I spend a lot of my time uplifted and happy. And I know a lot of people who can't do it yet. Can't do it yet. Not that they can't do it, but what they're doing to themselves, where they're currently at, is a mindset where if they feel that, they don't feel good about what they're doing, or they can't align with it, they don't want to move forward with things. And some people, they think everything's cringe, or they think everything is like dorky. I'm going to just give one reminder to everybody who watches this channel, because I am so happy with everyone who's here and who's been sharing this. You can be happy even if you're being dorky, or even if it's cringy to someone else. What makes us feel good is to go through those phases so that we can have that phase in life, so we can have that understanding, that lesson set. Guitar taught me a lot about patience, discipline, understanding, and putting time into a craft. Before guitar, I had a hard time focusing on anything for a long time, but guitar gave me focus. It gave me that part of my life that I could extend to other things like work, and then I got promoted and got better jobs, and I was able to do things because of the fact of what music gave me as a part of my life. Now, I have a lot of friends who are of the mindset that they're not happy with where they are in their life. They're not happy with where they're living. They're not happy with how much money they have. And it starts becoming quite a list, right? They have a list of all these things that they're unhappy about. But what they're not understanding is that the internal reflection of where they are isn't showing equally to their life. So where they are inside and the things that they have and the things that they think, they're not like a mirror to each other. Instead, they're going, why does it look like that when I feel this way? Or when I'm thinking I should do this, why does my life look this certain way? But one of the things that they're just not capable to see at the moment, and when people get in that position, is they can sometimes be blind to the idea that they really actually need to start asking more questions. Like I had talked about, finding those triggers and finding those rewards. And going, okay, well, this is the temperament I'm working in. I have all these triggers, but what are these triggers about? And a lot of times, if you spend time with a person and you talk to them about why their triggers are there might be a couple of reasons, but the origin reasons, they're usually really simple. It's like 2 to 3 things at most. But it seems like a whole, a slew of different kind of problems and different things going on. But the real core of it is the not feeling aligned with their self, which creates a dissonance. That dissonance creates anger. It creates confusion. It creates, why is it not what it's supposed to be? And that is frustrating as heck. And then you take the other side of it, and for some people, it could be an insecurity thing, that they've never had a validating friend, a validating love partner. Maybe their parents were extremely corrective and extremely the type of people who would be like, yo, like you need to do this or else like you're not, they attained love through, action. They attained love through merit. So they didn't get it by being a good person themselves. They felt like if I don't do something, or maybe even if I do something, I'm not worth it. And this feeling existing is gonna put a really weird aroma on your soul. You're going to have a certain smell to people around you who are more aware of social situations. They'll be like, there's something up with this person. And they'll sense that you're not aligned internally. And that misalignment is going to be something that's going to really attract like this odd, it's going to turn on a spider sense. You ever met somebody that you think is really cool, but for some odd reason, there's this little part of you that like, there's something off here. There's something off. And we can feel it as human beings, as a community creature. We can really feel what it's like when someone doesn't see us the way we see ourselves, or they're approaching us with a pre-thought notion, or they're approaching us with a belief. I don't like these kind of people. I do like these kind of people. I don't like doing this, or I'm impatient. Like, whatever the thoughts are, someone can feel that. And while it's easy to kind of keep being external, it's easy to go, well, I get it, Chris. I have to ask myself some questions, okay? But I need to make money, and if I had more money, it would be better. And if I had this, it would be better. And if I got this situation solved, it would be better, and I wouldn't have to ask myself a bunch of questions. You know what I'll say to a person who tells me that? You actually might be right in some senses. You actually are 1 degree separation from your internal self. You're really close to alignment. Maybe you really boil down what you want, and you're just trying to like get the physical part done. But the money's not going to fix what you believe. You can't pay your soul enough money to figure out how to feel. Just as much as you can't give someone enough money to not notice how you're being. I mean, people will, take money from someone and say, hey, I know that they're an asshole, but I will, spend their money. But it's far, far different if you're in the situation where you think that you're better than somebody because you're really not feeling better than somebody, and you want to think that you have it more together because you don't have this emotional side or spiritual need. You just crack through everything and you just break through the walls and get the work done. And I don't care if I stay up 17 hours in a row and then I do another 3 days and I don't sleep. That's okay. That's all understandable if that's what you want your trajectory and you want your style of life to be. But wouldn't it be pretty cool if you did happen to live a life where you were able to get to those successes still, and you had an alignment within yourself, that when you see another human being, you see yourself in that human being and you go, it's great that I'm rich now, but the coolest thing is I can do things for other people. I can help, or I can offer my art. Now that I'm financially stable, I can play more, or I can go out more and connect. Community is everything. And so the way we find ourselves is the reflection of who we are in our community, and very careful examinations of ourselves, which I'm going to be helping you do this week. So it has been an awesome journey creating the worksheets for these Toned and Toneful episodes now. Episode 61 has a worksheet, and I'm going to be putting that up on my a Google Docs that you guys can download. It's a PDF, and I would love for you guys to be able to download it and print it and write. I want us to be physical, not only with our work and our actions that we take, but I want us to be physical in how we address our spirit, and to bring out what is special about us is that we have a spirit and a body together to do things. So I would love it if, you could download the worksheets. They're there for you. They ask a couple of critical questions that might help you open up some beginning thought and help you start the questioning series that might help you open up your mind to finding the answers within yourself. So I just wanted to say thank you so much, guys, for your support with Toned and Toneful as always. Thank you so much for watching episode number 62. The answers you seek are within. I hope you guys have a great week, and above all else, stay toned and toneful.